Hey guys, I want to share a quick idea with you guys about this week's Parsha, Vayeshev. In Parshat Vayeshev, the Torah describes two seemingly completely disconnected stories: the incident between Yehuda and Tamar, and Yosef's journey down to Egypt. The Torah tells that the firstborn son of Yehuda married Tamar, but died at a young age, leaving Tamar a widow. His younger brother then married Tamar because of the obligation he had of Yibum, but he too died shortly after. Tamar, noticing that Yehuda did not want to marry his third and youngest son to her, decided to take control of the situation and seduced Yehuda into having relations with her without showing Yehuda who she was. Soon after, Tamar became pregnant, resulting in a death sentence for committing the sin of denying her connection to Yehuda's third son through Yibum. Right before Tamar is executed, however, she privately reveals to Yehuda that he is the father, and Yehuda admits to the act, and Tamar is saved. We learn that because of this, one of her sons would be the ancestor of Melech David, King David, who is known to be the ancestor of Mashiach. The second story in Vayeshev portrays Yosef as he goes to Egypt. Yosef was a slave to Potiphar, the viceroy of Egypt, one of the wealthiest men in Egypt, and was liked greatly by Potiphar. Potiphar's wife, who would later try to seduce him into having relations with her, also liked Yosef. One day, when Yosef and Potiphar's wife were alone in the house, she confronted Yosef, but he rejected her as the holy Jew that he was. Because he rejected her, Potiphar's wife then went on to lie to Potiphar and tell him that Yosef confronted her. Potiphar became very angered at this and threw Yosef into prison for several years. Just by reading this, one would easily think Potiphar's wife was an evil, destructive woman. But we learn from our sages that's not completely true. Rashi explains that these two stories are mentioned in Vayeshev in order to teach us that just like Tamar had the most holy intentions in ensuring that the line of Yehuda would continue, so did Potiphar's wife. Potiphar's wife saw in the stars that Yosef's descendants were to come from her seed, but she didn't realize that it was to be the seed of her daughter and not of her herself. Looking at Rashi's explanation, we have to ask the question: if Potiphar's wife was so pure in her intentions with Yosef, why did she lie to Yosef, and why did she cause Yosef to have to go through such misery and hard work after rejecting her? The answer to this question is something we experience very often. The difference between Tamar and Potiphar's wife is that when the situation became troubling and uncomfortable, Tamar remained calm and collected, and Potiphar's wife exploded with anger and revenge. Oftentimes in our lives, our plans will not go as we plan them, but what we do as soon as the plan fails is what determines our fate. If we're able to treat the situation deliberately and carefully, much good can come of our failure. But if we react to anger and lash out, nothing good will ever come as a result. We see many examples in our lives, famous people. Their failure is what makes them great. In order to go through this greatness, we have to fail and learn from our failure. May we all react to troubling situations with care and deliberation. I want to wish everyone in the Atlantic Seaboard a Shabbat Shalom and a happy Hanukkah. Thanks.